Game 1, Zen versus Daniel. About to commence. A fourth matchup between the pairing. Zen remains undefeated at the moment in the previous outings that they've had against each other. Octane Daniel to start off the day. We're very curious, of course, if we'll see a switch up at any point from Daniel in this series to Fennec Daniel, Dandroid, as he's affectionately known. And you know, I'm always hoping for Batmobile Daniel as well. I was really impressed when I saw him in the Batmobile the one time we saw him play that. Or was it maybe a couple times? I think he needs to try every possible switch up he can in this series, because he's had 3 goes at Zen. Hasn't won any of them. And Zen is already off to a flying start in Game 1. In the first matchup between these two, Daniel took Zen all the way to Game 7. In the most recent 2 matches, we have not gone to Game 7. So it looks like Zen has only opened the gap a bit wider between the 2 players. And it's now up to Daniel to adjust. It's up to Daniel to make the necessary changes to his gameplay if he is going to match up with Zen today. Yeah, you can... Okay, like I said the other day, or I think it was a couple of days ago, you can use very simple French where we allow aller, we allow baguette and dommage. I know what that means. Like, if you know I know a word, you can type it. Like, come on, you know what I mean here. And yeah, we'll try. I'm trying to learn. If you tune into any of my watch parties of EU Rocket League when French teams are playing, you'll know that I'm trying my best to improve as I go. But it's a slow process. I'm not taking lessons. I'm just looking at words in my Twitch chat and listening to words that casters say and listening to words that Kameto says when he's doing watch parties. It's gonna be a while for him any good. Yeah, Mercy. I know Mercy. We know we. What else do we know? Daniel gets his first goal of the game. Yeah, Allez is the easy one, you know. That's let's go for anyone who's not familiar with Allez, A-L-L-E-Z. If you see that word, that means let's go in French, or it's the equivalent. Yeah, that's what you're most likely going to see from Zen fans here as they try to back their man to get into the groove early in the lower bracket here. Actually, I keep calling it the lower bracket. It's a gauntlet bracket is what it really is. Zen and Daniel have to run the gauntlet from round 1. Zen has stopped the momentary momentum Daniel built with another flip reset for himself. Daniel's waited a bit late to jump to defend these. I mean, he is jumping right about when Zen is looking to land the reset, but it's the ability to deny the reset in the first place that's enabled players like Rawas to do well against Zen in the past. That's some rare miss on a double tap from Daniel. He had an open backboard to play with. He has not played the shot on target. Gives away possession here. Didn't want to take too long with it. Zen will fire it right back at him. Bounce dribble by Daniel. Takes off into the air, then looks for the mind game. It's going to work. Zen tried to recover after realizing his mistake. Daniel's bouncing shot goes straight past him. And that's the kind of adjustments we need to see from Daniel. He has to try to make those improvised plays work, because the only players who've beaten Zen so far have been Rawas 2 times and Moxie 1 time in this event. 2/3 of Zen's losses he's ever taken have both been in this event in the group stage. Shows you how stacked the Rule 1v1 Invitational is. But both the times that Rawas was able to beat Zen and the one time Moxie took him down, they were adjusting constantly. They were trying to outplay Zen and his pre-jumps and his tricks on the fly. Daniel has brought himself back into the game. Look at this. Brilliant setup in the back corner by the American, and just inside halftime, we've got a 4-4 score. EU game for 1 and 2 here. So this is massive for Daniel. He's already got a foothold. And now the pressure's on Zen to defend his server advantage. Another flip reset. Wave dash shot. Force Daniel into his goal. Boost steal for Zen as well. And a high flick. Oh, well placed from Zen. With a touch like this, you'd think he's about to try and strike the ball, but he actually single jumps up to it and then flicks it mid-air. Daniel not expecting that kind of power from a first touch like that one. Zen quickly darting back, unable to stop Daniel's kickoff shot. Daniel, for most of this tournament, has been trying to push the ball through his opponent, so in this spawn he'll go left, because that is just his go-to. I was a bit critical of him in his matchup against Zen and Rawas as well in this event for not changing his kickoff more. I think he is a little bit predictable with that one. It's another slight inaccuracy there by Daniel. Zen, before that, got a very small touch on the ball to deny Daniel the goal, which would have given him the lead. Zen absorbs one challenge by Daniel. Fakes a flick and now tries to play it through, but Daniel denies. I love that from Daniel, just a no-nonsense shot. Zen's actually nearly double-tapped it in his own goal. He lands well, and now both players end up on 0 boost simultaneously. Daniel retreats, grabs 100, and he'll start again in his own back corner. Not the best first touch there by Daniel. He's got a lot of work to do if he's going to make something of this, but he does! He had to use all of his boost here because the first touch did not go that high, so look how much boost he's using to lift the ball into the air. But with just 10 remaining, he lands the reset and launches the flick into the roof of the net. 6-5. Daniel with one of his best outings against Zen that he's had in a while, as another kickoff goes his way now. And he fires it bottom right confidently. 2-goal advantage for Daniel. Now I said that he's going to need to make adjustments, but really it's Zen who's got to make the kickoff adjustment here, because Daniel's beaten him with this exact same kickoff that he always uses, and it's given him goals. It's given him possession plays. Still see Daniel not changing his strategy. It's working, so why switch it? Zen wasn't able to counter it, but Daniel did concede the possession to the back corner. Now here comes Zen with a wave dash shot in off the bar. It's a nice soft one placed accurately past Daniel. With over a minute to go, we're back with a 1-goal game. Yeah, Daniel hasn't really had to change his kickoff. Now Zen counters him with a bit of a delayed approach. Misses the boost on the first try. Still has time to go back for it. Daniel waiting, watching, and now countering Zen's approach. Beautiful takeoff there by Daniel. 50-50 denied by Zen, who's got a little bit more boost than Daniel was ready for. We're going to have a tie game here. Well executed counter-attack by Zen. Daniel underestimating how much boost Zen would have left over. And now with 45 remaining, we've got a straight spawn kickoff. You guys are long-term viewers of my channel. You'll know that means we're probably going midfield play here. Indeed we are. Both players have 100 boost. You know, midfield play in ones just means both players have 100 boost, and one player has the ball, the other player has pressure on the ball. That's really what I'm talking about. It could be anywhere on the field, technically. But you're in an even game. No one's clearly attacking, no one's clearly defending. One player's got the ball, but it is a pretty even position. Daniel trying to slot the winner, and it might be, with 17 seconds left, his power shot is sufficient. Clean challenge and an accurate shot to match it. Zen trails on EU server game 1. Brilliant performance by Daniel. He's really struggled in this event so far, but he's producing some of his best Rocket League when it matters most. And an early pre-jump will have Zen second-guessing himself on this aerial attack. He wanted to chip that middle. Daniel did not care. Plays for the back corner boost, and I don't think that's even going to bounce. Zen loses game 1 on EU server. What a game by Daniel. He was really in trouble early, but he stayed in it, and he does get the win. Now, a lot of people in this tournament have been saying in my Twitch chat when Daniel's taking L's that Daniel's trolling. You know, I think it's a little bit copium from his fans, and it's a little bit of unnecessary insults from his haters overall. I think if you're saying Daniel's been trolling in this tournament, then I think you just haven't really been paying attention, because in my opinion he's really done a great job keeping his head in the game. Even when he's struggling, he's produced some brilliant goals, he's produced some brilliant comebacks, but I wouldn't say he's been trolling. I think he's just been getting a bit outplayed. Now he's the one who's outplayed his opponent. Does that mean Zen's trolling? Well, absolutely not. I think Daniel just played a brilliant game 1, and now it's up to Zen to respond. Oh, Zen is really trusting his aerial efficiency here. Daniel denies him the near post shot, lands backwards on the inside of the post, otherwise the counter-attack would have been available for him. It's a beautiful pre-jump off the wall there by Zen, just intercepting Daniel's shot. You know, I was predicting perhaps car change for Daniel earlier on. We've gone for Zen here. That's interesting to see. Can Zen produce an even more mechanical display than we've already seen from him. That's usually what the Octane means in the world of 1v1. And so far, it looks like it's going to be an accurate prediction, because Zen has just gone full mechanics in this game. In defense, in attack. And I mean, he really does have to win this game, of course. We go to the US East server for 2 games after this one, before coming back to EU for 2. What a save by Daniel. Zen does not respect him, though. He calls the bluff on Daniel's clear. This is a hard read by Zen. You know, it is ball chasing. I'm sure you'd all be furious in your own games if your opponent did this to you, but what Daniel is trying to do there is just control the ball, pick up some small pads, and then buy some time to grab 100 boosts. Zen read that and just dunked on him on his own goal line. Obviously, if Daniel had just hit the ball into the corner, Zen would have been briefly out of the game. Zen perfectly predicted Daniel's intended slow play. Aerial shot goes in for the American. I still, I want to stick to what I've said all week with Daniel. I have liked his gameplay for the most part. I think he's just not had a 10 out of 10 performance by his standards, but he's not been way off the pace. The problem is, if you're a little bit off the pace, you don't have a chance in a tournament as stacked as this. He's not against players he's supposed to beat. He's against players that are very, very even to his level. So he needs a 10 out of 10 performance. So does everyone today. Best player will win, as they always do in 1v1. Another very aggressive challenge by Zen. Ceiling shot coming in. Oh, it's extravagant. Ridiculous approach from Zen. The ball's bouncing in the middle of the box and he goes off the backboard to then direct it toward the bottom corner. That's just outrageous. A brief note to everybody subbing right now. I'm going to catch up to subs between matches. So yeah, do appreciate the support in these streams as always. I'll get you in between the series today. We'll have short breaks between rounds. For now, let's focus on the gameplay. Zen is sending it. He has gone full Zen against Daniel here. It's so many early challenges. Daniel has not spotted them coming. Daniel came back from a similar score, if not the exact same score in game 1. I think it might have been 4-1, if not it was 4-2. Long time left. And that was not the approach Daniel was looking for. Zen quickly transitions to the center, but his pre-flip shot goes harmlessly to the corner. And his first touch off the wall leaves a lot to be desired as well. Still, boost steals coming in from Zen. Bails out of those failed attacks and keeps up the pressure. Have we seen Zen play the Octane in any one-show matches before? I'm trying to rack my brain here. I don't think I remember any Octane performances from him. I think it's always been Fennec, if I'm remembering correctly. Yeah, I don't think he has. It's so interesting to see him just whip out the Octane against Daniel. I mean, it's working. I think this is just a pure mechanical war. I think Daniel has kind of challenged Zen to mechanical battle with the way that he's played this. And Zen says, okay, fair enough, let's do it. Octane, Octane it is. And so far, so good in game 2. Big mind game lands for Zen. The 50-50 follow-up leaves him with an open top corner. Now he leads by 4 goals. It's a disrespect. I don't think it's a disrespectful move at all. I think it's, kind of like... It's just 2 players who are at the peak of their game, and one of them starts playing extremely aggressively, so the other says, sure, I'll instead of just sitting in net and trying to counter-attack that aggression, I'm going to match it and try and one-up it. And Daniel says, go next. GG called in game 2. So we will head over to the US East servers for 2 games in a row. Still advantage Daniel after the first 2 games have concluded here. That'll probably be good for Zen. He might want to... he says no problem. I'll say good luck in chat just so there's no confusion over whether or not this is a game. It isn't a requirement for the players, by the way. Daniel actually does switch to the Fennec. This is fascinating. Will we see Dandroid? Or is it just going to be a normal Fennec style for Daniel here? So far, haven't really had any clues. Oh, he's missed an open net. That was definitely a bit of a stretch to reach that one. He hasn't left any doubt about the follow-up shot. What a finish. Top bins by Daniel. Zen merely a spectator in the goal for that goal. Yeah, I was going to mention, it's not a requirement for the players to just decide that a server is acceptable only by looking at the ping. They are allowed, if they want to hit the ball around for a little bit, see how the server is playing for them. But Zen, you know, saying no problem, makes his choice known. Daniel in new territory. Has he ever led against Zen? I don't think he's ever had a lead in a series against Zen, unless he took game 1 of the series they played on FairJame. Oh my goodness. Daniel is just sniping top corners. This is ridiculous. He's just a straight shooter. And now Zen says, can we try another server after this? Yes, we can. And that's what I mean with, you know, the players don't have to say no problem. Zen probably regretting his decision after seeing how accurately Daniel's been shooting. But he did say after this, I mean, there's no pressure on him really. If he said, can we try it, can we switch server now, what we would do is we would, you know, go a new server, and then it would be 4:10 remaining, and I'd take the scoreline with us, you know, using the match admin. Zen's going to try and make a comeback happen, try and get adjusted. Sometimes it does take a little bit of time to adjust to a away server game. Zen's just got to be thinking right now that there's plenty of time left. Well, he's been that attack as well. That's going to be a 5th goal for Daniel. Zen still has so much time left in the game to try and craft a comeback, but a nightmare start. Daniel has sent every shot to the top bin, and Zen's openings have been few and far between. That's only his 2nd shot of the game. Daniel deflects it into the post. Yeah, this is a USC server. We're going to be on this, well, we're going to be on USC server for 2 games. Lovely free flip into the air dribble there from Zen. Yeah, but we'll be on USC's 2 games, then EU for 2 games. And then 1 final game on USC if it is required. Zen, comeback has commenced. That's actually a really good bounce for Daniel. He's hit that into his own crossbar, but it kind of glanced off the outside of the bar, and that actually bounced it further into the midfield, so Zen didn't have an immediate follow-up. Mind game by Zen. Daniel undeterred, but perhaps wishes he went, because he's not the only one in this game who's sniping top bins. Now fake kickoff by Daniel. Zen spotted it and actually takes the ball to Daniel's back corner and seals the boost away. So maybe not the most convincing fake kickoff there by Daniel. He is, for now, more than fine though. What a challenge. Look at this from Daniel. He did not have boost, and he still destroyed Zen in the challenge. Well, he didn't have 100 boosts, I should say, but he managed his boost so well on the small pads that he still managed to challenge Zen way off the wall. Zen did not expect that. He thought he had Daniel a lot more boost starved than he did. Daniel, you know, in perhaps not making the most convincing job with the fake kickoff, he did save a lot of boost to play with afterwards. Zen there just leaving ball cam on for a second as he started the dribble so he could see around the ball. Know if Daniel is deciding to turn early. Double tap in defense. Zen keeps possession. Brilliant setup here. Very efficient movement by Zen, but Daniel's got in the way of him. He couldn't stop the ball, but he stopped Zen's advance. That, for now, is enough to prevent Zen from scoring. But now here comes Zen again. Lean back reset into a dunk, and now a 3rd goal. That's very difficult to stop. Zen threatening the flip reset here. Forced Daniel to challenge, and then he just air rolled away from it and dunked on Daniel's 50-50. Daniel looking for the flick after winning the kickoff this time. Zen's got 20 boosts saved here. Daniel had to be careful, and he is. Backs off into his half. Zen retreats the full length of the pitch to grab 100 in the back corner. That does give Daniel a chance to build up a shot, but does not have the boost to follow it up. Zen does. And how about this for aggression? Zen has 12 left over. He's trying to bump Daniel. He actually lands with him. Daniel played for the in-and-out save, and Zen still managed to bump him. That is usually a position that favors the defender, because in-and-out saves, you can build up a ton of momentum. So if somebody's trying to slow bump you, and you've got an in-and-out save run-up, you can usually bump them. But that time Daniel didn't have enough speed. He was trying to time it. He didn't send himself into Zen with enough force to deny the bump. Well played, Zen. The comeback is real. Daniel in a bit of danger here. Zen does not time his bump properly, but the second one lands. And the pre-flip shot off the inside of the post. Daniel is holding strong under massive pressure here, but has to back off once again. Super early pre-jump now from Daniel. Flies downwards into the ball. Oh, that's masterful in defense. Completely read what Zen was intending to do and stopped it before it could get started. Zen saves off the inside of his own post now. Minute to go in game 3. Daniel still with an advantage, and it grows to a 3-goal difference. Huge defensive stand by Daniel and a successful flick. Got 55 seconds left. Zen definitely in trouble in this game. Daniel takes another kickoff possession away from him. Zen forced to jump to respect Daniel's potential follow-up. How is he going to dispossess Daniel in this position? Daniel booms it over his head. He knows Zen has to go at some point. He's trying to remain ready for it. Now here's Zen's commitment. Full pitch air dribble into the reset. And into the top corner it goes. As he often does, Zen gets multiple touches on that shot. I mean, it just looks unstoppable when you look at Daniel's POV. It already looked unstoppable from Zen's, but you really only gain a full respect to those shots when you go in the goalie POV and you realize, yeah, there's nobody saving that one. 2 goals in it. Daniel has possession though. Just flip resetting in defense here to try and waste some time. Zen not able to dispossess him. Turnover again in Daniel's favor. Well, he might actually have a chance here. Daniel's way out of position, and he didn't waste enough time. That is definitely plenty time for Zen to make a play before 0 seconds. He needs the kickoff to go in his favor though. Delay would not be a terrible idea here. It's worked for him a few times. He plays for the win on the outside. Daniel tries to stay on the ball, but he has to go away from it. Catch from Zen. Daniel looking to challenge early. He does. And the double tap in defense is good. Daniel grounds the ball and confirms the game 3 win. We're going to have a server change here. Not switching to EU, but Zen did request a new server after game 1, which you are allowed to do. The players are always allowed to do this. We want to make the cross-server matches as competitive as possible, and that's definitely how I would describe the cross-server matches we've had as of late. You know, not trying to give myself too much credit, but I think this new format is the best one we've had for EU versus US East. Zen still in the Octane, Daniel still in the Fennec. That's the first time we've not had a card change for at least one player between games. I'll be completely honest with you guys. I think I kind of like the Fennec versus Octane for Daniel. I think he's in his comfort zone now. I mean, the Fennec is obviously his main. I think it's Zen's main as well. So, I mean, he's the one who's got Zen on an off car right now, albeit at the same hitbox. A massive early pre-jump by Daniel again. Forces Zen into the back corner. Zen definitely has an advantage here, though. The bouncing ball is not what Daniel wants. He couldn't reach it, but he perfectly guards his top corner. Daniel coming online in defense. Starting to hit consecutive reads on Zen's offensive plays. Zen still keeping the pressure up. Daniel predicts the fake. Yeah, he stays on the ball well here. What a shot by Daniel. Zen spotted it too late. Another huge defensive stand. And this time, he has something on the other end of the field as a reward. This is easily the best chance Daniel has had to take down his nemesis. Zen has beaten him 3 times in a row. You know, a lot of players with a record like this would decline any further matches, especially when all 3 losses have come somewhat recently, but not Daniel. He is a true competitor in every sense of the word. He is here to defend his honor, to defend his country. The only NA player in the tournament, the only USA player in the tournament, of course. And definitely, in the minds of most, including myself, NA's #1 currently. Another pre-jump lands by Daniel. He's starting to use the same tactics Ruas shut down Zen with, but that pre-jump didn't land. Zen flicks near post top corner. Got to see Daniel's eyes on this one. The fake challenge unsuccessful. A brilliant top bins flick by Zen as well. If you're just tuning in now, we've had 2 games on EU server already. Oh, beautiful mind game by Daniel. Walks the goal in pretty easily after that one. But yeah, we started off 2 EU games. Both players took 1 each. And then Daniel has taken the first of 2 games on USE server as well. So if he can win this one, he will have successfully defended his server advantage twice. And then we'll head back to EU, and Zen will have to do likewise. Zen extremely underneath the ball here. That's not a bad 50. I mean, the options he had were pretty limited after that initial first touch. He did well with him. Zen knows he's safe. Great vision of Daniel's whereabouts. Daniel pre-jumps once again, and this is so hindering to Zen's offense. He's so used to his opponents turtling up and backing off when he air dribbles at them. But Daniel, just like Ruas, has not shown the respect that Zen expects from his opponents. He has been challenging so early. He's been pre-jumping before Zen's even landed his first flip reset on the ball. Zen slightly mistiming his bump there, but Daniel also making a mistake there. Loses possession with a failed flick. Pre-jump, and then a recovery by Daniel. Denies Zen's first offensive push. Here comes the second one. It's off the post. Here comes the third in reverse, and the fourth, but Daniel gets goal side of it. Zen's going to make it back and control the ball, but Daniel's still denying him so many times. A little bit of help from the post on one of those, but he stopped 4 shots in a row as a frustrated Zen tries to find a scoring angle. Daniel proving that Ruas is not the only one who can defend for 5 minutes against Zen. He's 3/5 of the way there. How clinical he's been in offense. He's had far fewer chances, but he's taken most of them. And no flip reset on that play. Zen knew he could just play the ball. Daniel cuts in. Actually stole the mid boost there as well as the ball. And now Zen's in an awkward position. He almost fell off the post, and Daniel gets it past him. 3-2. The slow play from Daniel perfectly counters Zen's backboard position. Not an easy position to challenge from. Zen desperately trying not to fall off the post. And that really meant that he'd had to turn too early to actually block Daniel's shot. Another possession now from Daniel. Zen has plenty time left, but he cannot allow Daniel to score too many more, if any more. For once, Daniel lets his defense fall apart. No backup plan on that play, no recovery in mind. Zen on the counter, ties the game again. This is the most important game of the series, I think. If Daniel wins it, he's got triple match point. If Zen wins it, we head over to EU for 2 games, and momentum would swing heavily in his favor with the break of server. Possession should be his here. Daniel just dives, while Zen didn't see that one coming. He won't mind too much though. This is not a dangerous position in the back corner. Wall dash by Zen. Takes a bit of a wide route there for a 12 pad and still makes it back. Zen's in a world of hurt here though. Had to use all of his boost, and he does successfully block the follow-up shot. Both of those saves were extremely touch and go. Now Zen running away from Daniel's demo. Looks to snipe a shot under him. Daniel stays low enough, but now he's only got 40 boost. Zen with the advantage. It's final 10 seconds approaching. Zen trying to find an opening. Daniel has denied him, and now here he goes away on the other side of the field. I think it might be in. It is. Daniel on the counter. Spots an angle to shoot from. Zen did not expect that one. He thought he was the attacking player. But Daniel turns it around. 5 seconds to go. The American is icing it. Just like last game, Zen will have a chance. He's caught the ball in 0 seconds, flicks it over. Daniel, who's pre-jumped, tries to keep it up. In fact, that's a great bounce for him, but Daniel's right there. He plays the ball and now leads 3-1. Back to EU server we go, but Daniel has 3 match points. Well, what a series this is turning out to be. I know a lot of people tuning in thought this was just the warm-up series for Zen today before the real matches. Daniel is really trying to become the 3rd player to take down Zen. And also, it just so happens that if he does that, all the players who have beaten Zen are the players playing in this tournament. That's just how impressive Zen's first couple of months in the 1v1 scene have been. There we go. No problem is called. I mean, Zen back in the Fennec. Well, well, well. A maximum ping slider. That would be really cool, Lethamir. So, you know, it searches for a max ping server. I wouldn't mind waiting a bit longer for the game to find us a server. Maybe it can try and connect you to a range before actually connecting you to the game. Wow, Zen just barely landed on the outside of the goal there. Daniel with a heroic save. Ground pinch by Zen, easily denied. It was a slow one, he played it safe. And the good news for Zen is the first 2 of Daniel's match points will both be on the EU server. The bad news for Zen is that, much like his first series against Daniel, the 3rd match point will be on the home server. The first series he played against Daniel, it was his match point on EU that won it in Game 7. After failing the first 2 on the away server, now he's got to win 3 in a row, 2 on his home turf and 1 on the away server. To be fair to him though, he was pretty close the first 2 times. I think if there's any hopium for Zen fans, and if there's something to be confident about to give him a morale boost, it would be how close he was to winning both of those US server games, both within a goal, and in both of them he had a chance to tie the game on 0 seconds, which Daniel denied twice in a row. Back in the Fennec, and a low shot goes through. I think Zen realized the ball's actually so far forward in my car here, a flick is maybe going to be a risky idea, so let's just go for the low shot instead. Worst case scenario, Daniel slams the ball into the sidewall, which would most likely be fine for Zen to recover. I really like that from Zen. Great mix up there. The ball's not sitting perfectly in your car. Maybe going for a flick is a bad idea. Oh, 50-50 from Zen. While landing a flip reset, leaves the net open. Zen definitely on a roll right now. And if he can build up enough momentum, if he can just destroy Daniel twice on EU server, I feel like he'll probably be confident. You know, honestly, the move for Zen would be to actually test the ping before playing, which he knows he is allowed to do. Now a floor pitch goes in. 4-0. Zen consistently scoring for the first time in a while. Daniel's defense has been good enough in the past couple of games, but now he's starting to leak goals. That's a brilliant counter strategy there, though, by Daniel. Oh, well spotted. Zen's slow kickoff countered by Daniel, just speed flipping and driving into the ball. That's fantastic by Daniel. Just noticed something about the way Zen was approaching the ball. He knew something was off. And he went for the riskiest possible counter. The direct shot can sometimes backfire if your opponent is only slightly delaying their kickoff. But when you're down 4-0, I don't hate that at all. I think that's a really, really smart adjustment by Daniel. It's going to make Zen think twice about all of his slow kickoffs now. And not only that, it got him a goal. Daniel there, unable to get a good clear after the save on the first shot. Notice how quickly Zen darted back to his goal there after noticing Daniel. Oh dear, that's not going very well for Daniel. After noticing Daniel was slowly approaching the ball with about 12 boosts at his disposal, Zen immediately goes back to his goal, because the amount of times he's conceded long shots in this matchup so far has definitely gotten worried about Daniel's striking from distance. Oh, Daniel's just falling apart here though, 7-1. I mean, there's so long left in the game, I don't expect him to forfeit this one yet, but this one is really getting away from him here. Zen has been clinical. Another opportunity here. And is he going to hold back? Absolutely not. Straight away plays for the reset. Demo on the exit. Daniel didn't see it coming. Zen initially wasn't driving at Daniel there, but he turned into him pretty quickly, and that is a go nexty by Daniel. I think he's just going to be leaving the match here, then rejoining. No need to leave. Yeah, Zen is reminding him. Yeah, he's getting a car, but I'm just going to confirm here. I think Zen was just reminding Daniel. Well, Zen obviously thought Daniel was leaving to go to US server yet, and Zen's like, "Oh no! One more EU, please. Thank you very much. That's that's the order you chose." Yeah, Daniel was just switching car. He didn't forget. For the record, not a bad start to the comeback for Zen. That was the ideal return to the Fennec, the ideal return to the EU server, destroying Daniel. Oh my goodness, we're seeing it, ladies and gentlemen. The Batmobile is in the building. It's Daniel who's whipped it out. Oh my goodness, when I said I wanted to see this earlier, I was just hoping against all hope. I didn't expect to see it. The Danmobile is here. I actually like this. You know, a lot of people are, if this doesn't work, everybody's going to say, wow, Daniel's trolling. Why would he play the Batmobile? But did you see how the last two games on the EU server went? He tried, I think, Octane for one of them. Game 2 it was. Had to forfeit with 1:30 left. He just played the Fennec Mirror and lost that one as well. So I think it's a smart move just to try and throw a curveball at Zen. Just to get Zen out of his rhythm. And it might sound like a silly thing to say, but it really does, you know, get someone out of their flow state when they've got to think about what the opponent's car is actually capable of. And you don't play many Batmobiles in ones these days, so, you know, this is, I think, a wise attempt by Daniel just to throw a spanner in the works, try and play a weird game so Zen is overthinking when it comes to Game 7 on the US server, where no doubt Daniel will switch back to the Fennec. I don't have a doubt in my mind that he's going to play the Fennec in that game. But let's see what Daniel has planned. He's down 3-0 already. I mean, Zen is continuing his form from the previous game. So far, we've seen a low 50 attempted by Daniel, a flick attempted by Daniel. Neither were too successful. And now here comes Zen, reading the downward. But actually, you might not have read this initially, but he still recovered to go and get it. Here, he's staying high because he knows if that bounces back straight to me, I can keep flying straight and rebound it. If it goes low, it's obviously a lot easier to fly downwards than it is to fly upwards. Gravity helping him out with his, you know, you could call it a misread, but I think that would be a bit inaccurate. Because really what Zen's doing there is he's covering both options. He knows if he reads low and it goes over him, there's no way you can get back up. So, great idea to stay high there. Daniel now with a turn on the spot on the offset spawn. Collects the ball, so that's, you know, technically a kickoff win there for Daniel, although it's not an easy one. Oh, but Zen bullies him in the back corner. Daniel unable to beat him to the boost. That'll give the Frenchman 4-goal lead. You know, there's probably a lot of you watching who have seen Dark's slight offset spawn kickoff strategy where he flips on the spot and really makes it look like a standard kickoff, but that wasn't Daniel's intention there. He knew that Zen would spot it. It's just the only reason he's doing that, really, is to keep Zen guessing, and that's, I think, a really good idea by Daniel as well. You know, if he's going to lose this, if he plans to win this, or expects to win this in Game 7 on the home server, you've got to give Zen as much to think about as possible before you go into the game. You've got to throw as many weird offensive strategies at him, as many weird kickoffs, weird car choices, and weird challenges. Unfortunately for Daniel, Zen is just chugging along. He is having every ounce of success he had in the last game. That attack fails. Now a chance for Daniel to improve the scoreline slightly. Yeah, I want to reiterate, I actually like this by Daniel. You know, my main criticism of him earlier in the tournament in the group stage was that he didn't really... I don't think he really changed enough about his playstyle until it was already too late. And I think in the final game he played against Zen, he started to adapt and he started to you know, try to keep Zen guessing, but now he's done it early, and look at this, Daniel with a Batmobile flip reset mind game. And that'll cut the lead back down to 3 goals. Well, this is winnable for Daniel. He's still a ways back, and Zen is still playing at an extremely high level. This is promising for Daniel. Great jump there by Zen. Daniel trying to surprise Zen with a weirdly timed bump. I mean, obviously the bump here is very risky, so what Daniel's banking on there is Zen not expecting it. Unfortunately for him, Zen reacted too quickly, jumped straight over him. I don't know, I've never thought of that or seen that before. The Zenic, yeah, Zen back in the Zenic. Why have I not heard that? That's just the perfect amount of stupid for Twitch chat to just figure that out in the first minute of watching Zen play a Fennec, but I've not seen that, so well done to you who came up with that one. I love that. When I say stupid, I mean in a good way. 2 pinch shots from Zen from his own back corner today, or at least in this game. He might have done another one earlier. Neither of them have worked. Now here comes a double from Daniel. It goes in comfortably. This is where it starts to get a bit frustrating for Zen. He's just thinking, okay, yeah, you brought out the Batmobile, cool. Can you just lose already so we can play game 7? Let's just get this over with. You know, Zen, he's got to stay focused here. He can't drop off his own level of play at all. Daniel is still in this. Oh, what a shot. He's more than in this. He is coming back. And it's positions like this that it's just difficult to read. Zen doesn't have a lot of Batmobile experience when it comes to his opponents. He doesn't have a lot of experience against Daniel's Batmobile, this being the first game, I believe. Unless, did Daniel play the Batmobile in the series they played on Fear's channel? I don't remember if he did. It's clearly, you know, making Zen second guess a couple of his reads, which is really good for Daniel. He didn't? Okay, so this is the first one. Daniel will keep pushing. He wants to win this convincingly. He wants to win this in style. Imagine the scenes if he wins this in the Batmobile, and Zen still doesn't look comfortable against this. As he lets another goal go through. 2-goal difference. Daniel changing up the pace in offense every now and then, and Zen's not been able to read him. He's not been able to stay with him. Daniel might be able to get to this one first. Zen just dives straight for the ball. Daniel has the back corner boost as a result. Zen playing with none, and he'll get a goal for his trouble. Well, that is aggressive by Zen. But Daniel didn't see it. No boost for Zen. He drove over one pad there, and that's what gave him the confidence to make this play. So he had a little bit to get back to the ball. And Daniel's going to keep going. No go nexty, yexty. Final minute. Daniel booms a shot to the backboard. I feel like it's more difficult to read Batmobile booming shots than it is other cars. That might just be for me spectating these games. Sometimes it doesn't look like the Batmobile's lined up properly, and then suddenly the ball's absolutely flying. Not sure if you guys would agree with me on that. And Daniel, almost to frustrate Zen, is going to play this one out in its entirety, it seems. I mean, we're close enough to the end of the game already that you might as well. A great try by Daniel, but Zen looks like he has defended his server advantage the 2 necessary times. 11-6. Daniel will call the game there. And we will decide this series in Game 7 on the US East server. I think Zen is going to be very selective about which server he plays on here. He regretted the choice earlier on. I can't remember what the ping was that he said no problem to. It was like 96 or something. He can get lower than that, so he might be more selective here. Let's see what he decides to settle for. Yeah, like I said before, you know, we've had a couple of strong games there from Daniel, or from Zen rather, on the home server. But before that, we had 2 very, very close games on US East. Daniel took both of them by 1 goal, and in both of them, Zen had late chances, well, as late as you can get, 0-second chances. which he was not able to take. So it's not a big difference here. This really is all to play for. As Zen gets the perfect server. I almost clicked leave match by mistake. What a disaster that would have been. He would have panicked. He thought, no, Johnny, don't leave. This is it. This is the one. We've got an 80-20 here. Daniel, the favorite. He's never played better, and we do get the Fennec Mirror like we expected. Zen starts off with an aggressive ceiling challenge to deny Daniel the slow setup he was looking for. Now here comes Daniel again. Long shot to keep Zen honest. That's something Zen has become used to throughout this series. Another methodical approach from Zen when it comes to defending Daniel's dribbles. And Daniel has been truly methodical so far in Game 7. Here comes another aerial setup. Daniel bails on any thoughts of pre-flipping that one. Playing it safe for now. We approach a minute of the game. Zen jumps very quickly. Daniel not able to react. Now the mid-boost fight commences. Daniel gets it. Tries for the bump as well, but fails to connect. And that'll actually give Zen a chance to close the distance. Well, Daniel had options there. Either play for the demo or play for the boost steal. He went for the demo and he missed it, crucially. And now here comes Zen, bumping Daniel midair to take the first goal in the game. A back and forth game one so far. Daniel unable to get over the bump. And if you jump early and you don't get over it, you're in big, big trouble. Kickoff goes pretty even here. Daniel won't be too scared of Zen rolling the ball beside him. Now Zen has possession, but Daniel's got the boost advantage. It's still a very even position in the midfield. Now Daniel favored. Zen backs off. Fake challenge by Zen. Immediate shot by Daniel. Again, just to keep Zen back. He doesn't want Zen to get comfortable challenging early. He's shooting to just keep that threat an ever-present one. Now Zen does just dive in and he stays low enough. That was a low 50 attempted by Daniel. Now the flick to the bottom corner is good enough. Well, Zen didn't realize he'd left that one open. Efficient movement, it was all it took from Daniel. Brilliant acceleration there. I mean, it's going to be an underrated goal at the end of this series, but that was not easy to do, to just catch that ball perfectly in the front of his car and get going straight away. His Zen's confidence is definitely very high because he didn't play for the boost there. He played for the goal and he gets the goal. Like I said, he had options here. He could play for the shot or he could play for the boost. I think he's taken the correct option in that instance. If he leaves the ball, he's potentially going to lose possession. Now Daniel spots the delayed kickoff again from Zen and he scores off it the second time in the series. Dan spots Zen's slow kickoff. Look at that. He just speed flips and then chips it over him. And a little self pass buried in the open net. Almost a dead ball 50, but Daniel bounces off it and that is not going to help him recovering. Zen too strong on that one. Daniel just landed on the wrong side of the ball. Such an even Game 7 here. Easily for me the closest game we've seen yet, and we've seen some close ones. Zen with a heavy hit. Gives Daniel the ball, but Daniel couldn't get a shot off. And now he might. Zen quickly back and takes control. Great read by Zen. Not panicking. Playing the ball into a position he can follow up, but he's still in a bit of trouble here. Oh, he's managed to pull acceleration that Daniel didn't expect, but Daniel still has control. Zen looking to wrestle that control from him. Looking to bait Daniel into the back corner here. Daniel rarely overextends in positions like these, and he hasn't here either, but Zen battering the backboard. He's had the possession for a while now. Daniel lands to the inside of the post. Zen can see him, of course, because we are on Manfield night where the posts are transparent both ways. Minute and 50 remaining. The most tense game we've seen so far. Neither player taking excessive risks. And into the air goes Zen. Daniel's up early. He's tracking in the whole way, but Zen doubles it from an impossible angle. Well, Daniel did so well. He had almost every angle covered. but Zen has somehow managed to pull out a double tap. That is absolutely ridiculous. Zen up by 2, a minute and 37 to go. And defensive Daniel is going to need to start taking more risks at this point, because Zen has controlled the majority of the possession, and he's got a hold of the ball again. Zen not air dribbling off the wall there. Notice he's just going to take it from a lower angle. And the flip reset goes wide. The landing is not a good one. Daniel will get one back off a Zen misplay. Just the worst possible landing for Zen there. He had 2 wheels on the goal, 2 wheels off it. And I mean, really your only option there is to flip and hope for the best, because if you wait for the landing and wave dash, I mean, you're not exactly going to have much going. Now here comes Daniel. Maybe a kickoff goal for him. It is going to be a kickoff goal. Both players get one in Game 7 as Daniel equalizes. And it's the old faithful. It's the same one he always goes to. Will Zen counter it? Daniel defaulting to his standard play in Game 7. It's a completely dead ball. Zen just gambles on another 50-50. He's got small pads to play with here. That's going to enable the boost steal to come through. Daniel able to stay on the ball. That's key. He's got time to grab a 100 boost before Zen's next attack. Here it comes. Daniel pre-jumps to keep Zen grounded. Now he's on the ground again to try and match Zen's approach. Zen looking for the power slide setup, but wide it goes. Now Daniel closes the distance. He's run out of boost, but he has stopped Zen for now. Still playing the ball, looking for an opening to even out this boost disadvantage that he's in. Zen taking his time. He knows he's got Daniel in an awkward spot here. Tries for the impossible finish. The recovery is good. Zen finds a way through. Flip reset dunk mid-air. And then a center ball to himself. Oh my goodness, how have we got ads right now? That is a disaster. I'm really sorry for everybody in chat who got ads when you watch this back in the VOD. I don't know how that's happened. I've been having some issues these past few days. And nothing I can do about that right now, unfortunately. Daniel now looking to equalize. He goes high. Great read by Zen. He knew that shot was high, so he just kept his car away from danger. And waits for Daniel to actually hit the target before he panics. Well, he has now. Daniel's found an opening. And once again, it's a shot off the wall in the back corner that gets it done. Baits the 50-50. Deflects the ball into a strikeable position. And now with 8 seconds to go, we have a tie game. Daniel off the left side wall. Zen with 100 boost in defense. Daniel's reset does not connect. It looks like overtime is coming. I'm not sure either player would really want to fight against that. And here we go. Overtime it is. Game 7, as close as you could hope for in round 1 of the playoffs. The ball has ricocheted into the sidewall. Daniel has a chance for a ground to air dribble here. He takes it. Zen's pre-jumped early, and that forces Daniel back down to the ground. Zen matched him again. Now Zen's ball. Not a lot of boost to play with. Daniel has 100 in defense, and he saves the first shot. Zen went for the second one. Now Daniel on the counter-attack. Surely that's going to be game. It is. Daniel has done it. He beats his nemesis. Zen went all in for the open top corner, but he could not find the angle. We're going to need to see the replay of that one after the game, because that was about as close as you're going to get from any 1v1 series. But what a performance. Daniel, against all odds, starts maybe the run for the win. The gauntlet is definitely still ahead of him. But that's the first step, right? Wow. Let's take a look at that last play of the game, though. How scoreable was this by Zen? Because he might be very tilted if he missed this. I don't know if he left out of tilt because he missed, or if he just left because he's lost. But we need to take a look at that last goal, because Zen did have a shot and he hit the post with it. Right here. It's Daniel boost advantage, Zen on the ball is the situation we're in. And he'll probably think that he choked this. I mean, this is a tough one, of course. Like, if you react immediately, that's just open. But he didn't react immediately, and then he decided to commit anyway. I mean, that's very close. What do you guys think? Is that an open net miss? I don't think it is, really. I mean, I don't think that's really a choke. He'll probably think that he choked it himself, but that is a very difficult ball to react to. Is it an open net miss though? The problem is, like, if you look at what happened here, Zen jumped before he turned, so I think it's technically an open net miss, because if he steered on the ground a little bit and then jumped, I think Daniel is just dead to rights, but he jumped and then turned midair, which is not how you efficiently take off in any situation in Rocket League. Little tip there for all of you guys trying to learn how to get to the ball more quickly. Don't jump and then steer. Steer and then jump. So yeah, I think he might have... He just underestimated how high the ball was going to bounce, I guess. Because obviously, I'm not saying Zen doesn't know that. Obviously, Zen knows that you should jump that you should steer and then jump. It looks like he just didn't react to the bounce. But well played by Daniel. That was an unbelievable series by him. One of the best we've seen from him in a long time. Just a great series overall. Fantastic stuff by both players.